are some other ways that you pay attention to your food and drink intake? Think about those. Personal development. There are so many ways we can develop ourselves. We can learn new languages, we can take classes, continuing education courses, we can read books that challenge our mind, we can engage with other people in conversation that have differing opinions than ourselves. The best thing to do sometimes is to know when to agree to disagree. A lot of people avoid communication with others because they're afraid that they're not going to agree or they're going to have a difference of opinion, and that is okay. Us being different is what makes the world go around. So knowing when to agree to disagree is really important, and that can help our personal development when we engage with folks with different perspectives on things. Learning new activities. We have yoga here at our facility. We have Tai Chi. We have healthy eating kitchens. These are all things maybe you can give a try. You can find them on your web pages. You can go to YouTube and find examples of how to do yoga, Tai Chi, from your beds, from your rooms, from your living rooms. There's no limitation of being able nowadays to really develop yourself because there's so many avenues for us to connect to the world out there and learn new things. Community involvement and self-help books are good ways to develop personally as well. Take some time to think about what you've done in the past to develop your skill sets and to challenge yourself to learn something new. Surroundings. We often forget, I think, about surroundings. I know I have. But once I brought my attention to this circle of health and wellness that had me look at all these things, it taught me to really be aware of what my environment provides to me. Our sensory system provides us really all of our experiences and how we connect to the world around us. Our memory system, what's important to us, what's dangerous to us, all is a memory within our sensory system. What we see is burned into our brain. What we smell, what we taste, the sounds that we hear. So sight, sound, taste, touch, all those things, smell, really play a role in how you feel. And if you tap into those, that really tells us about our surroundings. So all those sensory things that we know cause us anxiety and stress and maybe discomfort, think about opposite sensory things that make you feel opposite. For me, music tends to make me happy if I'm feeling down or sad. That's what we have in us around our environment that we can adapt. The colors around us, how much light we have. If I'm feeling down and I keep everything dark around me and I stay isolated with no music and no people and no pictures, I'm probably going to feel more and more separated from people. But if I have brighter light on with pictures and the things that are important to me and music, then that helps me stay connected and feel a little bit better about myself. There are so many ways that you can make yourself brighter. Even plants bring about a better environment a lot of times. And then one that I probably tells a little bit about my personality when it comes to environment is messiness. I'm not the best organized person. People tend to feel chaos if the environment around them is chaotic. So if I walk in my office and there's papers everywhere, I have noticed that I tend to feel a little bit more anxious. So just tidying up the spaces around you can help you feel better in your environment. Think about your environment. Look around you. What are some things that you like about your surroundings? And what are some things that you think if you changed them or tweaked them a little bit would make you feel better? So the last two, down towards the bottom of the page, spirit and soul. This is really just about how you connect with yourself and the greater world around you. It's made up of our experiences, learned behaviors, genetics. There's no exact answer on how we are exactly who we are. But do you take time to really connect with who that is? Your values, your belief systems, where they came from. Can you change them? Are your values and beliefs really connected to the actions that you take? Taking time to be aware of that can really shed some light on maybe some personal conflict that you didn't even realize you had there. For example, family is a huge component for me. It's something that I feel like is a value in my life. But if I'm so stressed out at work, I go home and I start yelling at my family and telling them to leave me alone, that I need my downtime. Is my action showing my value? Or is my action showing conflict with my value? So that spirit and soul is really taking time to know you, connect with yourself, and check yourself on your values, and are you living your values through your actions, and how you connect to the bigger world around you, and the joy that you can bring to that environment and that world within you. You can do this through religious practices. For some people, that's a huge component of who they are spiritually, but not for everyone. Just always remember that this is specific to you. Reading can be found in Spirit and Soul, the daily affirmations, self-help books. Like I said, a lot of these techniques can be used in different areas of that circle of health and wellness. Outdoors, connecting to the outdoors is a really good way to ground spiritually as well. Seeing the animals, especially this time of the year, it's raining and it's spring. I kind of wore my flowers today. That the colors pop out, you hear the birds singing this time of year. Just connecting to that outside world and Mother Nature that seems a bit bigger than just us. Art is another huge way to connect. Do you like to draw? Do you like to paint? Do you like to write? Do you like to write poetry? Artistic abilities within people really are connected to their spirit and soul and how they feel. It's an expression of who they are, sharing from the inside out to the world. So that's another way you can tap into your spirit and soul. And then lastly, but not least, family, friends, and coworkers. That's relationships. It's okay to be an introvert. It's okay to be an extrovert. But you need to have balance. So it needs to be a way that you can engage with people. No matter how much of an introvert we are, we do have to connect with people, whether it be by the phone, going to the store. It's important to figure out how to connect. You can do that through animals, you can do that with plants, you can do that by phone. Nowadays there's all kind of live video chats and ways to communicate with people that if you don't feel comfortable getting out of your home, you can connect with people through electronics, videos, technology. Gives us a lot of avenues for that. Simple ways that we can engage with our family. Maybe you feel disconnected, like you haven't engaged with those family, friends, and coworkers as much as normal. You can play games at home. Those good old-fashioned games, dominoes, cards, or maybe you can play some of the new wave games on video games. It does allow conversation. So just learning to play and have fun is a good way to communicate with people. You can also go on vacations. The same way we talked about relax and recharge and going on vacations there. Again, it doesn't have to be expensive to take the family to the local park. Maybe you could just get out pictures and take a vacation trip that way. Look back at the past of things you've done together before. And just reminisce. Share stories about you growing up. Family really appreciates that. Maybe not so much in the moment, but long term, it's great to hear those stories and remember the stories that maybe our loved ones have shared with us that aren't with us any longer. So being able to pass on that heritage and that history of your life to family can be a good way to connect. That social media we talked about, and community groups. Getting involved in your community groups, being active. You never know how you participating will matter to somebody else that has a hard time participating. So don't shortchange yourself thinking, oh, I don't have anything to offer. You engaging can really help somebody else as well. What are ways that you've found to engage when you find that maybe you've lost contact? Are there things that have helped you in the past get reconnected? With coworkers, you can simply go up and strike up a conversation. Find out what's going on in their lives. But make sure you allow time to listen to what they have to say as well. I tend to be a talker, and it's important to learn to share and to give time to receive somebody else's sharing. So those are just some few things that you can do to work on your own health and wellness around this circle. I hope that you take time to really look at this workbook, and again, you can reach out to us if you don't have one, and spend some time being mindful of how these things play out in your life, identifying areas that are important to you, and also areas that you do well and areas that you'd like to improve on. And if you join us for future sessions, we'll go through each one of these in more depth. Next time, we'll talk about power of the mind and just talk about the beliefs that are out there and how you get connected that way. Thank you for joining and participating. Have a great day.